Hi, all. Well, things in the last week have been very strained here. We all went to the doctors last week, and Lexi, Keegan, and my wife tested positive for the flu. Keegan tested positive for strep throat. Me, chest. I got cough. I've had a cough now, and I feel run down and just like totally blah. I mean, for like 2 weeks now, and it's like nothing wrong. A lot of it stems from all these animals that I've been taking care of for the last year that I cannot get rid of. I mean, called the SPCA, Animal Resource Center, uh, Bloom Cats. I need to get rid of like 10 of them. I have 17 cats now. And it all stems from these guys throwing them in. I didn't want to see them die and freeze. But I'm at the boat with these people. Like me and my wife. Our house is getting over. I have 8 litter boxes now in the house, and it's not even enough. And I can't afford any more. We're one of the reasons why I haven't been buying a lot of lot of stuff, like spending like hundreds. Uh, is because these cats are costing us $300, over $300, 350, 300, 350. I just did 2 litter boxes upstairs, and just the litter alone is $50. I just replaced, and that's every week. It's getting to the point here. It's like it's nuts. Uh, Pumpkin, I have medicine because he's one that's got had distemper, and Kissy is the one that lost one of his eyes. It sucks being an animal. I even told my wife. I said I'm at the point where our outside cats that we had disappeared. In fact, I have one of the 4 outside cats left. All other of them gone. Don't know what happened to them. Uh, Precious, who we had 14 years, came in. She was all torn up. She wouldn't go back outside. I put her in the breezeway and I closed the doors, hopefully to acclimate her. Maybe if I have to open up the back door where she has to go down steps instead of just straight out. I don't know what to do, but I just can't keep them in the house. I did get 2 pieces of plexiglass for my bar, so at least I have the 2 end caps plexiglass so the cats can't destroy any more glasses. And as you can see, this I have. I'll demonstrate it here real quick. I bought this 2 pieces of one for the bottom, one for the top, and I also got wood to put down at the ends because this is going to get mounted up there. So I can't do nothing until I have either Anthony comes over and my dad comes over and I get to have somebody help me and I drill it up into the rafters. This is actually an unboxing too because I ordered stuff from Temu a while ago and my wife gave me this for an early Valentine's Day present. Wave 5 Masters of the Universe Battleground, which I just like, and I think, I don't like how I can hear rattling in it. But a lot of stuff has been like weighing on me heavily, and I'm like somebody made a comment about I didn't pay, I didn't win a lot of auctions. Well, my one video that I had, the 100 books I won, after the shipping in the box, after like I think that was a total of two sets of auctions he had up. It came out to 80 cents a book. I'm like, but I ordered from Temu a couple more shirts. I got a Vampirella shirt. At least this actually looks pretty good. And another. I mean, not even $10 a shirt. I mean, I was like, because a lot of my shirts are falling apart from constantly wear. Oh, and I'm like, and I actually think, well, I already gave Anthony. Anthony's sad thing is my buddy Al's birthday's coming up, and I haven't seen him. I still haven't even given him his Christmas presents. But I got this shirt too. At least it's, you know, I didn't mind these shirts. And of course, more stuff from when we played D&D. I think it's funny though. I spent $40. The last time I spent $40, I got 8 free items. So it's just that they don't all come in at the same time. So it's like, when am I going to get? And this one was a barbarian. And man, she's small compared to all the other ones. It would be nice if they actually said the scale on these. They show the thing, but like this guy, I don't think he's 1.5 inches. He's a little over 1 inch. I'll have to make him, he's supposed to be a barbarian. I thought he'd be bigger. I gave Anthony already two of the, because I bought doubles of some, because I knew. Okay, this is one that I know that was free, but they shipped it out all at the same time. And this is some kind of knight. Because Anthony's been enjoying painting these, so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to stop him from painting. In fact, he's got all but one of my miniature cases over his house. So I think he's got like 5 or 6 of them. This is another, this is another counter. Because I'm like, when we've been playing, it's like, it's nice to have a counter for your guys that you play, and the DM to have counter for the monsters. A lot easier than writing them down. You just click, 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 boom. So that's those 2 bags. And this was this was the $40, $45 order I think. I got, for my patch collection, this was like $1. I was like, a Hydra Patch. I actually started putting the patches in with my pins. So, and then let's see what these miniatures all are. Okay. This one is, a whole bunch of tavern people. I mean, for $2, I got 8 guys. So, tavern patrons, and so there's that. I told Anthony some of these were then female warrior. I'm actually looking forward when Al comes down, if Al ever comes down, because he didn't come down all last year. The one thing I hate about these little boxes here, they're cool, and once I get the stuff out and I put the miniatures in they're nice to store like some stuff in, but the shredded paper that they come with, oh my God. And this one is a witch. Well, an enchantress or sorceress. So I'll put her back in here. So that means I'll get the one character that I bought for me, because I have a female sorceress that I'm playing with. I actually have a ranger that I'm using because we have 2-member parties. And oh, this is bigger. This one, wow. This ain't the size I thought it was. These will end up happening if they ever get painted. They'll probably just be like display pieces to show Anthony's painting and my basing skill. In fact, I'm waiting for him to drop off a bunch of miniatures that are his, that he wants me to base for him, and I'm like, not a problem. Oh, and this is a 3 bandit set. So that's, because when I ordered this time around, I was trying to get the most amount of miniatures for the money. And wow. Female, wow, look at this. This came in a big box. There's a female assassin. And let's see what's in this one. And then I can do my 3 eBay purchases that came. Which one is actually Atari cases for bigger Atari boxes. I really hate when we do this. Hey, I'm going to send these. Oh, and she's bigger too. God damn it. This was supposed to be my figure. And she's a lot bigger than she's supposed to be. I wish they would with scale. Like, most of the miniatures that me and Anthony play with are either 28 to 32 millimeter. And lately, a lot of the ones have been, I mean, this is too big. Too big of a figure. This is more like, I don't even know how you want to call it. So there's 2 of them I ordered that are pretty much not going to get used for anything. You know, they show it, but I don't have a ruler, and I think I should start getting a ruler out and be like, okay, this is how big this guy is. On some of them, I don't mind. Like, they had like a fire, like a demon guy, fire. I said to Anthony, I said, yeah, I made him bigger because I'm like, they're normally boss, like an orc chieftain. Well, usually an orc chieftain's bigger than a normal orc because, you know, he didn't get chieftain because he was, you know, small in stature. You know, there's some guys like that you expect to be bigger. But let's demonstrate what we got here. Now, this should be my Actionvision, bigger Actionvision Atari cases to hold games in boxes. So hopefully these work out. Because it said for Actionvision bigger box gifts. I'm like, okay. Now this, when Dan had his last, I think it was a Marvel Age or whatever this, or was this more, yeah, Marvel Age. Right, yeah. I was outbid on this. And now my wife's calling. I'll have to call her back until I finish this video. I was outbid on this. Well, I actually got it cheaper on eBay than Dan, but the guy who outbid, I'm like, okay, because I'm trying to get certain series. I'm working on certain series, like Marvel Saga. I need 3 issues to finish Marvel Saga. Marvel Age, I'd have to make a list. I need like 7 issues to finish Amazing Spider-Man from 200 to 300. I would like to finish them. I just would like to go, and what really pisses me off is I still get disgusted when I think about certain books that disappeared. Like, I had the first 50 issues of Volume 2 of Wolverine. Well, now I need was it 7, 8, 9, 10, and I forgot what other, but number 8. I mean, for the longest time it was a $5 book. Now it's like, oh, people on eBay, $75. I'm like, no way. And like my first appearance of Jubilee disappeared out of my collection. So that'll be something that'll eventually I'll have to try to replace. I'm probably never going to replace my first NYX that disappeared. The X-23 first, yeah. I get disgusted when I look at a lot, and too, like when Loki, Rick, said how his comic collector stuff disappears, and I'm like, I got 41,550 books or more, and it's like, I get disgusted when I buy a book that's not on my list, and I know like this, as soon as I'm done doing this video, I go and I put this in my collector, and I say, I bought it on eBay, I put how much I paid for it, and I enter it in. So a year or two down the road, when I, go through it, and the sad thing is, the only time I remember that if I don't need something is if I actually have the full series. Like, I don't need Volume 2 or Volume 3 Green Lantern. The only issue I need for Justice League of America Volume 1 is number 1. Which I'll probably never get, but somebody asked me, like, with the kids, and I'm like, I'm so tired of the kids, because the kids, my daughter has no interest. She keeps telling me she don't want me selling them or getting rid of them, but I'm like, I'm at the point now where would I be better off, selling, just keep holding on, let them sell them. Because when I did have the sale on Facebook, out of like the 12 boxes of comics, I think I got rid of a total of 2. And I ended up getting stuck with 4 or 5 people that bid on stuff and never paid me. So it's like, of course, I didn't send them the stuff, but still, I'm like, you don't sell, you're going to bid and have me create a box and then, don't pay me. And I've sent them, and I'm like, I'm done. Because this year, I do love buying from Dan, though. His auctions usually start off at a quarter, and sometimes he has a buy it now auctions that are really cheap. But it's funny because there's a lot of books that I gotta get my button gear and make a list of certain series. Like I have a lot of series that I only need like 1 or 2 issues. But it's just, I have all these books I buy. I actually have to integrate into my collection, and I need more boxes. I need more bags and boards. So I'm waiting for my wife to income tax time to roll around, because I'll buy bulk in bags and boards and that stuff, and because I don't need treasury bags, I don't need golden age bags or boards, I don't need magazine bags or boards. I still have tons of them from when I bought the house. So 12 years, I still have plenty of that stuff to go. Usually when I buy, I try to buy everything Silver Age. This way, I still throw Modern Age in a Silver Age bag and board. That's how I always did it. One of the biggest things is, one of these days, I'm going to have to replace a lot of my bags and boards, because a lot of my bags and boards are, let's see, 15, going to be 40 years old. And I haven't replaced them. Like a lot of the stuff, and a lot of the Silver Age stuff, I would like to, because to income tax tech, I was talking to the wife about getting a computer, getting a 3D printer. Also getting, for me, for my collection, I want to buy a book on how to clean and press comics. Because I have a lot of books that are in, that if I clean them, got the cleaning stuff and a pressing, they'd be in really better shape than what they were. So, but oh yeah, and this came. So now I have officially 2 Star Wars games for the 2600 complete in the box. I got The Empire Strikes Back. I had Jedi Arena, so the 2 games I'm missing in the box are, even though I have the game loose, the arcade game and the Return of the Jedi game, and that this is my favorite Star Wars game anyway. So I was happy to get this. But now I can go and put stuff away. This, like I said, this won't do. I'll show you. Let me flip this around. I'll show you how I got that plexiglass in. So that end is done with all the glasses. And I can buy, oh, goddamn cats crapped on the front. That's one of the reasons why I want to get all this stuff, because of the cats. And I got this end plexiglassed in, so the cats can't mess with any of this stuff. And I still have to get the corner. That there is actually more of these. I'm going to get this and have this all. I got to get that corner hutch pulled out, a plug put in, paneling behind that, piece of plexiglass up there. I'm going to get the yellow felt, and I have some more Steeler cans and some other cans that I want to put up in plexiglass behind there. Get that plugged in, because that cabinet's got lights in. And I already, like I said, I already have all this, and this is all set to be put. I just got to get my entertainment center built, and this is going to be collectible. And if I have to put a shelf going across, I will put a shelf going across. But all my photo albums, this is going to be where I keep my pins and patches. Photo albums, photo albums, photo albums. And another shelf. And then here is going to be booze, refrigerator. Oh, here too I meant there's going to be a wine chiller. But here goes around, like I said, there's my vinyl, my stereo, a bunch of records and 45s. I still have to build up going this way up and do stuff going out that way. But at least I already have enough of these rubber tiles to do back here. So I'm like, yay. I bought 88 of them. But the cats, like I said, the cats are destroying. My wife bought me these a while ago. I guess somebody knocked it off the bar and broke one of my slate flyer coasters. Because eventually, this stuff's not going to be here. The stuff that's going to be up here is stuff for the bar, like coasters, shot glasses, maybe some loose beer, some loose glasses. This ain't gonna. That's going to be over there. I mean, I got a lot of stuff to still do, but it's like, can't do it by myself because my back won't handle it. But I'm really happy I got this plexied. So now I got the Batman, the Flintstones, and all the Disney and the Happy Days glass. All that's done. And what I did for these, I got sick with all these freaking cats pooping all over the place. What I'm going to do next week, next paycheck, is actually get the piece of plexiglass for this big piece going from here and behind these boxes to back there. I'm just going to leave this spot open there because I moved all the glass sets that are incomplete to that section, and then I'm going to get a full piece of plexiglass for that section all the way across. And once I get that, all this stuff can get moved out, and I'm just going to leave it open. Just leave the bar stools in front, because this is where all the photo albums are. I have to get all that stuff scanned in, put in what photo albums I don't have, get album, and then put them behind the bar. And this is just all like stuff that I have to put away yet. It's crazy. I still need one X-Wing fighter, and I have all 3 Star Wars. I just need another gray one that's not battle damaged. But it's just me slowly. And the cats constantly knock stuff over on me too, so it's like it's disgusting. I constantly probably do twice the amount of work in a day just because of the animals in the house. My daughter, like I said, had 3 ferrets. She didn't take them. I got to take care of them. And the deal was, all the animals weren't supposed to be my responsibility, because I have enough trying to keep up with the house, sweeping, doing laundry, just taking the kids places like, scouts. Just nuts. But it doesn't. Life keeps going. But that's everything that's been happening. So I gotta call up Anthony, tell him what's going on. Hopefully he'll stop by. I can give him some more miniatures, because now I can go put all these over there, because he's got all my cases. So I'm like, don't know what to do with all these. But I want to thank anybody out there that views and subscribes. I have one box coming from Dan. I bid on some stuff at Dan's, which it'll probably take me weeks to get. Because this past auction, I think out of the stuff he had, I bid on like 13 books. Because everything else on the thing, I had all the Alpha Flight he had listed. Because that's something, I had the first 3 volumes Alpha Flight complete. All the Marvel 2-in-1s, I went to a certain price, and I was outbid. I think I went to $1.50 to $2.50 a book, depending on what issue it was. And he had some older Avengers. And I've already been outbid on most of it. I think probably about 80% of that stuff I've been outbid on. And then another guy had some Amazing Spider-Mans up, and stuff that was decently priced. I bid on, and I don't think I'll get any of that stuff either. I'm in no hurry. It's like, I wish it was like back when I lived back home. When I lived with my parents, every check I had was my mad money. I didn't have to worry about nothing. I mean, if a person had a collection, I was able to buy it. Now, being on disability and not having, and my wife basically is, with all the overtime she's been working, it's like I buy frugally is the best way to say it. I think the one thing of like 200 books I had, It came out like $1.40 a book. You know, that's good. Anytime you get stuff for less than 50% of cover price. I mean, even back in the day when I used to buy, the most I got was 50% off, is how much I bought from any comic book dealer. And now it's like a book comes out and it's a variant, and they don't even want the $3.99 for it. They want like $70 for that variant, and I've been lucky with a lot of the variants that Dan puts up that I've been winning, and it's like $1, $1.50. So I'm like, yay! But this weekend too, Keegan's got his Pinewood Derby, and this is the car we built. The 247 is his pack number. So he actually wanted it to look like a race car. So he's got headlights, turn signals, brake lights. So I was thinking about, having him put like a light, but I'm like, no, this is. Yeah, he had this finished like weeks ago. And it's actually this Saturday's his Pinewood Derby. So I cut it. He sanded it. We painted it. I did most of the fine paint work on it, though. But hey, he's happy with it, even though he wants to quit Scouts. I don't know what it is with him, but he took basketball practice. Everything was good until halfway through. Scouts, I don't know. Things are totally different from when I was a kid. I mean, big time. But we all know that. But I just want to end this video because I got a lot of stuff I got to get done. Put all this stuff away. I got cleaning to get done. I got to take an empty laundry basket upstairs, get wash brought down. Because I can't do wash until tomorrow because Thursday our refrigerator went. Found out we have power surges here, and it's messing around with the electrical systems on my washing machine. My refrigerator, nothing worked. So I called up the guy. The guy came yesterday. I called him up Monday. He came yesterday. And he just reset everything. Everything stuff popped right back up. He had me reset my breaker down here. And he goes, power surges. He goes, if the refrigerator freezer shuts off again, we have to order a board. So all I have to do now is pay the service charge for him coming. And thank God it wasn't the board, because the board would have cost me $350. And he told me, with my washing machine, unplug it for a full day or two. So I have had it unplugged 24 hours. I won't start washing until tomorrow. And by that time, I'll probably have 2 full laundry baskets of dirty clothes with the kids, because they don't put nothing away. It hits the floor. And then before you know it, I'm doing wash twice. And I'm constantly begging them to put the stuff away. Because I have enough work to do that I can't find time to put their stuff away, along with putting groceries away, getting stuff organized. I mean, clean with all these animals. I mean, like I said, we got 2 6-litter boxes down here in the basement and 2 upstairs. So I got 8 litter boxes in the house and 1 in the breezeway. So I got 9 total. And that's not enough for 16 or 17 cats, which I threw some of them out in the breezeway. I threw some outside too. I was like, I got fed up. I said to my wife, I said, I can't deal with it anymore. I was actually crying. I said, in 1 week, I mopped my kitchen floor 4 times. In fact, I got to do it again. So within 9 days, it'll be 5 times. Not to mention the bathroom. I don't know how many times I've shampooed carpeting. Like I said, I just didn't want how everything is. And no help from the SPCA. Now, the sad thing is, if I threw these animals out or killed them, I'd be the first person the SPC and all these animal rights activists would come after for. But I've been begging. I've posted on my Facebook. I've had people like, my friend's mom took one cat, because I actually had more than that at one point. She took the one cat. She named him Kiko. I had another cat a guy took, and his daughter was happy. He went and he got the cat fixed. He also got it because from the cat being in here with all the cats and cold, he ended up having a respiratory infection. And I'm like, I'm trying to, it's so hard with all of these animals. And it's like, I don't want to sell, I just want to, just people come take them, please. I don't want to kill them. I don't want them to die, right? But I can't have them here anymore. We've called, in fact, my wife called a place an hour away and waiting to hear back from the lady. I even said to my wife, I said, if I can get rid of one or two every like so many days, I'd be happy. But it's already been a year, and I've got rid of two in over a year. That's it. And we call the SPC, oh, we have too many. And I'm like, I want to keep the ones that I take care of and the ones that are like very, very friendly. I mean, like up there, Pumpkin. I also got to make sure that they use the box, because I don't know which cats are doing what they're doing. And that's why once I get down low, I can actually get, hopefully, them all litter trained. Just so much stuff. It's like, head's this big, and it's like, I like stress. My therapist tells me I have way too much stress in my life, dealing with my kids, my mother-in-law, all the animals, and having my back problems. Because it sucks. I'm here and I just, feel pressure in my back. It's just something I've lived with now 19 years. And it's like, I pray to God and I'd be like, they say it's good to suffer before you die. And I'm like, how much suffering can a person take? I'm like, the other day when I flipped out over the animal, I was freaking screaming at a picture that was in my grandmother's coffin of Jesus. And I was like, just take me. Because the older I get, I have my father. That's pretty much left of my family. My ex-girlfriend alienated me from all my family by lying about throwing a baby shower. I had all like cousins and second cousins for that. None, I don't know. I hardly never hear from any of them because I had what happened. Basically destroyed my family over that. And after my mom died, that was it. Because my mom's side of the family was the close-knit one. In fact, I don't ever hear if anybody dies. I find out like months after somebody dies. Somebody's like, "Oh yeah, your aunt died." And the sad thing is, I've reached out before they even passed away. I'm like, listen, I know you did a long distance. I said, just call me up 1 second. I'll call you back since I don't have to pay for long distance. And I've even wanted to bring them down here. They can spend time. Nope, nothing. Which now they're all gone anyway. My mom was the one that kept everybody glued together. And after the crap with Michelle, with the no baby after 9 months in a baby shower, and I had to return everything, and not knowing, I mean, that to this day, last year I called my cousin Lisa, and she asked me, I said, Lisa, I'll never know the truth of what happened, and I think the only time I'll know that is if I die and go to heaven, and the revelation was how somebody can lie and do that for 9 months. And then on top of that, lied to me and told me that she could never have kids. And lo and behold, she lives in New Mexico and she has 2 kids, 2 boys. I'm like, the lies just never cease. She lied about losing her job, lied about how her parents treated her. I Over the years, I just after once everything happened with the baby. Well, after all that, she even asked me for $400 to move to Virginia to live with a guy. And then when she wasn't paying the car payment, I called her and said, "Listen, they're coming." And she's like, "Oh, how did you get my phone number?" And I'm like, whatever." I've I've suffered and been through too much in my life already, and and I don't think the world is ever going to get any better. To tell you the truth, I think the world with the divisionism is just going to get worse. I looked at when I was a kid, America was a melting pot. My grandfather Pasquale came over, and that was my grandmother, my dad's mom's father, Pasquale Pace. Spoke Italian. He lived in the bottom, and all his kids lived in apartments above him. Well, his daughter and her husband lived above him, and then his son and his wife lived on the third floor. My Uncle Augie, my Aunt Virgin, my Uncle Tom, and my Aunt Grace. And they died when I was young. My Uncle Augie lived up in, I'll never forget, he used to walk miles around Lake Scranton, and one day after taking a shower, he died of a heart attack. I love that guy. I used to always joke around. But it's the truth, though. You look at stuff. I had a big family. I had a lot of family friends. Like when I had my graduation, I had 400 and some people at my graduation party. My daughter graduated. You know what she got? Me and my wife and my dad. That was it. My uncle Nefty and Aunt Martha, they're gone. My Aunt Gladys, gone. And my Uncle Bill, gone. My mom's gone. It's just like, I mean, Christmas at our house, we'd go to our house, we'd go to my Aunt Veronica and Uncle George's, and then the sad thing is the first year we moved overseas, my Aunt Veronica and Uncle George died, so that, it wasn't as close that side, but still we still kept in touch. And I look at this whole thing with America, I'm like, with all this internet, supposed to be, we're so far apart, not only family-wise. I mean, they made this thing about Black history. Well, okay, if you're going to go Black, what should that be like happen in Africa and in the Middle East? Because they're black. They're dark-skinned. No, it's only American. Well, that's American history. This divisionism is ridiculous. Black history, you get the, what is it? The Puerto Rican, the Mexican, and it's like, yes, a lot of things were done wrong over the years, like especially from the Gone with the Wind, her being segregated and her Oscar and all that. That was bullshit. But Sidney Poitier, all these other people came in. I think now the movie industry is not like it was, or the music industry, or just the world. I mean, you look at football, you look at all the sports, African Americans, baseball, Mexicans, Argentinians, Ecuadorians, Salvadorians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. They're all. You get people from Japan come. It's. I just wish it would be back to way how it was, which America was a melting pot. It was like everybody who, no matter what culture you were, you came, you learned the language was English. It was just a single, because that's how it was. My background is Italian and Russian. Now, I always said about how back then, because back in my hometown before I moved overseas, I did not see anybody of color. Everything in my hometown was Germans, not the Germans. The Italians lived on one side. The Russians lived on a certain section. The Polish lived in a certain area, and the Irish lived on a certain area. And my dad lived in Moscow, and at one point he was in Scranton, and he moved to Moscow. And this is Moscow, Pennsylvania, not Russia. My dad's Italian. My dad was Catholic. My mom was Russian Orthodox. My mom was Russian. My grandmother Mary, you do not marry that Italian guinea. That shows you back then how things were. They're all white. It was your ethnic origin. You know, like the movie The Wanderers, right? Like I always say, hate's inherent. Doesn't matter what color you are. What if everybody was white with blue hair? You know, a Star Trek episode, you're half white, you're half black, you're on the wrong side. You know, that's how it was. I think having all this divisionalism in this country is actually a hindrance in a lot of aspects. There should be history, not black, Chinese, Italian history, history, American history, good, bad, indifferent, everything. You know, slaveryism, the slaves, indentured servants, how the Chinese were forced to build the railroad and the blacks were forced to build the railroad. You know, it wasn't only slavery on one, you know, term and this and that. I mean, I always say, if you go in history, in wars, you look at the Roman Empire, they came, they conquered. The prisoners of wars were let back. They became gladiators. They became slaves. It's not, that's just history. And I look at stuff and I'm like, you know, they make the thing about whitewashing, about how we, yeah, but nowadays when a guy comes out like He-Man, you know, like 80s cartoons and all this, well, Man-at-Arms was white. Oh, yeah, we're going to make he's a black guy now. I'm like, okay. I don't say, I'm like, you say whitewashing, but then you have no problem taking a white character and making him a different ethnicity. That's hypocritical in a lot of aspects. At least to me it is. It's like, the way I look at it, I like how Marvel did it with Nick Fury. They made an alternate version of Nick Fury. They still have the original Nick Fury floating around in their different universes. You know, just like, you know, Miles Morales Spider-Man, you know, do it that way. DC, they have a black Superman on a different Earth. I just don't like the fact of how DC's decided how they're going to rewrite the whole thing. And I don't know why they have it against poor white redheaded people. I mean, bye-bye Jimmy Olsen, bye-bye Wally West. Who else did they get rid of that was a white-haired white guy with red hair? I'm like, I mean, you could have done different, you know. Why the poor white guy with red hair? Make a Robin black. I mean, why not? You know, Bruce Wayne went, you know, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd. There's so many goddamn Robins, I keep forgetting them all. It's like, why not? You know, they did a Batwing. I just look at stuff and it's like nuts. Because I like what Milestone did. You don't have to do that. Just create all new heroes. Mr. Terrific Icon. You know, I thought, you know, those black artists, those writers, they did a great job with that whole thing. And, well, you know, how hard is it to do that? You know, the universe. I actually wish that DC would actually go, okay, and just do how they did in the 60s. Redo everything, because I don't like the way a lot of the we're just going to just change color and make a million different rainbow variations of a lantern, a canary, an arrow, a beetle, a rainbow Batman, rainbow Superman, different blue Superman, red Superman, green Superman, rainbow Batman, just to sell figures and stuff. I look at it this way. You know what? Redo the whole thing. Cut the whole thing up and say, listen, whole new universe, modern age, boom, done. Reinvent everything. Don't make it Hal Jordan. Make it a different Green Lantern at all. Hal Jordan was the 60s Green Lantern. And if you still want to do Hal Jordan stories like you did with Alan Scott, they're there. Different universe, different thing. Just my 2 cents. I think that would be the best thing, because everybody who comes in wants to do their own spin on these guys. And I don't agree with making people like, Hal Jordan went nuts and became Parallax. Can you imagine? Like, he lost everybody he ever loved when Coast City went bye-bye. Now, a tragedy like that would push somebody who's already been having a lot of emotional over the edge. Doesn't mean that he wasn't without fear, or, that he just had enough. Now, my biggest thing is the Green Lantern Corps would not have taken him if he was in that state to begin with. Now, like this, they say this was, it's like, would the FBI take somebody who's schizophrenic, who's got emotional issues? No, they have psychological tests they take. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff they're doing with making, people who have mental issues in the superheroes, especially part of a Lantern Corps. They could have done it if it was just like, the person had powers and he had issues, like Rorschach. Rorschach was as far as I'm concerned, he was a paranoid schizophrenic as far as I'm concerned. But and just in the question questioned everything. Those characters were good. They had their issues. And they were well written, well taken care of, storylines were well placed. And it made sense. This whole stuff, I look at stuff and I'm like, all these colors, emotion, thought. I'm like, I just don't agree. I don't agree with all that stuff, because, everything's based on you're using your mind to construct something. So basically, you're using your will. I always say this, and going this like I just whatever. But I think I made this video way too long, and I went off on a tangent like I always do. It's pretty much the same crap. But I like to thank all you guys for viewing and subscribing.